To a special video for two reasons, actually. Reason number one being today I am working with Bristol board. It is somewhat new to me and it is incredibly enjoyable. But I'm actually going to be talking about that at the end of the video, as that's not the topic of today's discussion. Today we are going to be talking about my OC, who I am working on a finished illustration of at the moment. So I've had a couple OCs when I was younger, and as I've gotten older, I've tried to flesh them out, create them more, give them more life and depth and character. But this is the first one that I am outwardly proud of, and I think the idea is really, really well polished. I've been working on him for a couple of weeks, kind of thinking about the idea. I almost went with a female character because they're easier for me to draw. But I ended up going with a male character for more of a challenge when it came to the drawing aspect, but it fit the character idea so much more than the female counterpart would have. So let's stop dancing around the topic and talk about my character. His name is Jackson, or Jack McBrien. He is a vigilante of sorts. He has superhero-like abilities and goes by Retribution. Not that I can say the word, but that is what people call him, and kind of the persona that he decides to take on as he gets more and more used to his powers. Before we get into his powers, we're going to talk a bit more about him as a character, though. He is 26. He is married. He is married to his loving husband, because you can't expect me to make him a straight character, because look at him, he's gorgeous. So, his husband's name is Simon, and let's see, I think that's it. I'm looking at my sketchbook and my writing is a bit all over the place. So he, like I said, 26, he is 6 foot, so he's tall, he's up there. And he's got like lightish, almost an orangey brown, but it wasn't intentionally orangey brown. It's just kind of how the marker made it look. It's more of like a warm brown hair and brown eyes to boot. I think that's it. His job is, well, he has two jobs. He's a tattoo artist on the side. This is semi-inspired from my father. And he is a private security contractor, normally. So what his powers are and what make him special is that any tattoo he receives, any tattoo that he gives himself or has in general, he can animate into a real object. He can make it real, make it come to life. Such as I have drawn the whip on his left arm because he is left-handed. And I've drawn the whip on his left hand to beginning to be animated, which means if you look, the hilt of the whip is in his hand and the part closest to his wrist is popping out, but as it goes up, it actually kind of is still in his skin, so it hasn't animated yet. Cool part about the tattoos is he can de-animate them, because that's the only word I can think to use for it, and allow them to become a tattoo again and kind of hide them. What's really cool about this is that his ring, his wedding ring, can kind of do a similar thing. It can be animated, and he tends to keep it animated, but it is the only one that he doesn't tend to keep as a tattoo. He wears his physical wedding ring around his neck, the one that was exchanged when he had set his vows and everything. I didn't draw that because I more recently thought, well, if he has a tattoo of his wedding band, why would he wear one and have a tattoo of one? And it didn't make sense. So I kind of was like, oh, well, then he probably just wears his wedding band from when they got married around his neck, because that makes the most sense. So this illustration is kind of to depict what he would normally look like, although he doesn't always look angry. He is a massive sweetheart. But yeah, I forgot what I was talking about before the ring thing. I think I was talking about that. Oh, I knew where I was going with that. It his ring is also the only tattoo that does not hurt him when he decides to deanimate it. All of his other tattoos cause him pain when they deanimate. They cause him no pain to animate, but when he is finished with them, if he wishes for them to become tattoos again, they do hurt him. Like a burning sensation, like his skin's kind of melting off, or he's getting the tattoo all at once. So, because I'm sick and twisted, and apparently he can't just have superpowers and they don't injure him. Actually, his ring and his whip are the only two, because his whip was the first tattoo he ever got because he liked the idea, and then he found out he could animate it. The only caveat with the whip is if he loses it, it can cause him to die. So he tends not to use it. I used it as the more pronounced one in this picture just to kind of show that it is his main weapon, but it's not a weapon that he likes to use a lot, because if he loses it and he can't find it, or it gets taken from him, he can die very easily. It weakens him to the point where he can't really do anything. So he has other weapons, other ways of protecting himself, like his hands behind his back. I kind of imagined a scenario, and he is getting himself into a fight, but he doesn't want to actually like hurt whoever he's fighting, so he has like a taser behind, like tattooed on his back, that he can pull out and tase someone and then get rid of the taser, and then he doesn't have to worry about deanimating it. That is just kind of one of the few examples I thought of. One was having like a gun tattooed there, so it's similar to just having the gun behind your back anyways, but instead he can grab the gun, and then he has multiple like clips of ammo that are tattooed onto him, and when he's done and they're empty, he puts them on his back, and then he can fill them back up by just re-tattooing the bullets in them. It's a very well thought out idea, and I didn't expect it to get that way. One caveat though with his power is every time he animates something, his eyes turn gold. I kind of showed this partially happening, so one eye is gold, one eye is brown, one eye is brown. I thought I was saying that incorrectly. And yeah, so he is kind of one of those, he's a vigilante because he feels he needs to protect people and doesn't think anybody should be hurt for no reason. So that's my OC, Jack McBrien. If you are interested in another video about him, let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!
Hey guys, if you like this video, be sure to check out another one over there, and if you want to see the full playlist for this series, check out over here. Thank you for watching, and subscribe if you like, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone!